I, for the past more than 3 years now, have been devoting a lot of time to this series and thinking of ways to meaningfully recognize and acknowledge Jamison and the space he should have filled in so many different parts of my life. I'm going to marry Jihi, and my wedding is about me and her, and our life together is about me and her. But a life includes family and friends, and they're a part of it, and Jamison should be a part of it. And so, at the wedding ceremony, I'm going to say a few words for him. Not to bring the mood down, not to put on any kind of show, and not to make the event about having lost my brother. That would be disrespectful to Jihi and the life that I'm going to start with her when I commit my life to her. Not for any of those reasons, but just because he should be there and he deserves to be acknowledged. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I'm getting married a week from tomorrow, so I gotta do this data battle. I'm gonna do Marluxia today. Which one is he? See you, Ben.
Ready? Yeah. It's over. Down. Ready? 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 Heal. Ready?
Interesting. I might not win this. Okay.
Back at you. Yeah. See ya. Yeah. Settle down. Ready?
Oh.
Ready? Ready?
Oh.
Heal. Ready? Fall.
I've always loved this song. Well, not this particular, but this is an arrangement, but I've loved the original. This is pretty good too.
Ready?
Okay. First try, I didn't know anything about the fight. Now I'm gonna research the fight. Just studied up on it. I'm gonna try again.
Ready?
And mess that up immediately.
Settle down.
Mess that up immediately.
Ready? 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 Fall. Heal. So long.
Shot ice, I meant to shoot fire. Well, I'm doing better than last time, kind of, I guess. Like, I have a little bit of idea of what I'm doing, I'm just doing it wrong. But I'll get it.
Ready?
There we go.
Settle down.
Oh, okay, I don't think I made it to this part last time.
There's no hope for you. Ready? Ready? Settle down. Ready? Ready? Heal. Settle down.
Oh, I think I'm going to die from this if I don't break his armor in time. Oh, okay, I see that. Okay. I'm going to try a few more times without recording, and then I'll record again. I just beat Marluxia while I was practicing. I didn't expect to beat him, so I'm going to try it again on camera now. I'm going to lose a bunch more times. I just lost. I just lost because I messed up. I forgot to get my customization back the way I'd had it before I exited out of the game.
Settle down.
He's not really that bad, but there are a few like clincher points where if you don't get through it, you're gonna die. Like this one. Oh, he's just dodging everywhere. Where is he? Oh.
Ready?
Okay. Alright, I got really close to beating him again. I'm getting close enough to where I feel like I have to start recording every time just in case.
Ready? Settle down. See ya. Back off. Ready? Fall. Settle down. Heal. It's time to finish him. Ready? Ready? Settle down. Settle down. Ready? Ready? Over.
Somehow I didn't.
See ya. Settle down. Ready? What? Settle down! There's no hope for you. There! Ready?
Ah, no.
Ready? Ready?
Ah, messed that completely up.
Ready? There!
Oh, maybe it doesn't matter.
Settle down! Back off! Ready? Ready?
Okay. Try that again. It's pretty decent. Kinda until the end when it just fell apart.
Ready? Back off! Settle down! Go on! Settle down! Ready? Ready? Go on! Settle down! There's no hope for you. So long! Ready? Ready? Settle down! There. Settle down! Settle down! Yes! Ready? There! Ready? So long! There! Heal! Ready? Yeah! Ready? 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 What? Settle down! There's no hope for you. Ready? 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 Back at you! Over here! Back off! Settle down! Back at you! Ready? Heal! Settle down! Go! Ready? Ready? Got him! Gotcha! There! It's over! What? Back off! Settle down! Settle down!
Got him. Okay, did it. Okay. That wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. Okay. Whew. Did I use a Kupo coin in that fight? Huh. Oh, I didn't use... Okay. I forgot to switch to the Oath Keeper. Sorry, Jihi. I'm sorry, Jihi. I was gonna use the Oath Keeper to beat him, but oops. Okay, no. Okay. PS4 buttons are weird. I had the Oath Keeper equipped. We'll just kind of think of that as I had my wedding ring on. I'm not going to do that again, but I had it. I had Ever After too, because we're going to leave happily ever after. But yeah. Did I use my Kupo coin in that fight? Can't remember. Okay, I did. Oh well. Nice. Happy wedding to me in a week and 1 day. Well, we just got engaged.
Oh, wow.
We got engaged last night. Now we're having bagels. Morning bagel, and what was yours called?
Huh?
What was yours called?
Okay,
cool. Alright, yeah, we're gonna get married. G and I are getting married 2 weeks from today. It's starting to rain now. We got lucky with no rain. This is the beach where we finished taking our wedding photos a while back. And yeah, we took the photos. They turned out really great. Jihi's sister came with us to help us out, help us carry stuff and all that. And Jihi's holding an umbrella over the camera now. Thanks, Jihi. Jihi's sister came with us to help us take wedding photos, and the whole time we were taking those photos, I was just wondering if Jamison were alive, would he have come with us? Would he have been involved with this? Because this is the kind of thing you share with the family. I mean, obviously Jamison probably wouldn't have been in Korea, but if circumstances had been different, if Jamison had been able to be here, or if we had been somewhere else, would Jamison have helped on the day that I take my wedding photos? And I wish he could have. I wish, I'm grateful to Jihi's sister, very grateful. It's just that, you know, her sibling helping out makes me think about my situation. So the entire day I was thinking about it. Not like obsessively, but it was on my mind. Just this feeling of lack. Something that's supposed to be here but isn't. Jamison never got to meet Jihi. And we start a family, he'll never meet our children. He'll never know that he has nieces or nephews. They'll never know their uncle. I don't have anything prepared for this, and there's like nothing extremely profound to say. This is all obvious, but we have kids. I'll tell my kids about Jamison. I'll make sure they understand that he's someone they should have known, and at the very least they'll know about him. They'll know who he was. Jamison liked the beach, and he liked the ocean, and he liked art. He might have been happy to come here and participate in this kind of thing. And I would have been happy too. All I can do is think about him and do this. All I can do is what I'm doing now, is point out that he's not here and that he should be. And if he can watch and if he can see this, just let him know, Jamison, you should have been here and I wish you were here and I'm thinking about you. And as far as I'm concerned, in every way that you can still be here, which is maybe not at all, except in thoughts, but in every way that you can still be here, as far as I'm concerned, you are. As far as I can will you to be with us, as far as I can keep you around, I'm including Jamison in this. I'm including you in this, Jamison. To the extent that I can, I'm including you in my life going forward. I'm getting married to someone who never got to meet you, someone you'll never know. And I'm moving forward with my life, and I'm doing something that hopefully you would have been able to do one day. Hopefully is maybe a strange word to use there, but I like to think you would have gotten married and had a happy life. And I would have celebrated that for you when it happened. And you would have celebrated me. You would have celebrated this for me. And anyway. Yeah, you get the gist of it, I guess. That's it. I don't want to make the wedding all about me being sad about my brother. Obviously, like all the talk about this, the wedding is for me and Jihi. Us getting married is me and Jihi, but this is my tribute series, and it's just my wedding, and that part of my life is something that I should have been able to show to my brother and share with my brother the way I share it. You know, you share this kind of thing with your family. So I wanted to come out here and do this. I always get lucky. It's for all I complain about things being difficult for me and not working out when I have like a deadline. I don't have a particular deadline for this one, just sometime before the wedding, 2 weeks from now. Doesn't have to be on an exact day. And for all my complaining about things going wrong, this time things went pretty right. It was raining, and the rain stopped pretty much as soon as we were ready to come out here and do this, and it's for the most part stayed stopped this entire time. It started up a little bit and Jihi got the umbrella, but even now it's like stopped. We got some awesome footage of seagulls. So I a while back watched, this is gonna sound silly, but I watched Top Gun Maverick, and there's the scene where main character says, "Talk to me, Goose." His friend is no longer with him, and says, he's flying, doing the thing they used to do together, and he says, "Talk to me, Goose." And so standing over here by myself, I thought about that, and because Jamison liked the beach and the ocean, and I quietly said to myself, "Talk to me, Jamison." And you know, you can be moved by a movie, it's fine, but the second I said that, the instant I said that, seagull darts across my field of vision, and I followed the seagull, and then I ended up getting a bunch of really great footage of birds, of seagulls doing their thing on the beach, and like, you'll see the footage, but that could be something, or that could be just birds doing their thing and me getting lucky. And Jamison would say that was just coincidence, that was just birds doing their thing and me getting lucky, and I mostly am inclined to agree, but that's fine. That's fine, the universe did me a solid there. Thanks for giving me some cool bird shots. Jamison was into that stuff. Jamison liked animals, he was curious about that kind of thing. Walking around the Arboretum today, we saw some weird fruits on some of the trees that
I'm almost positive Jamison would have made a point to like search the internet later for as long as it took to find out what those fruits were. Just to know what they are, and then just maybe text me and just tell me about these fruits he learned about. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I guess that's what I got. I want to share this with Jamison as much as I can. Same old, same old. Love you, Jamison.
Something I love about Jihi is how open she is to trying things that she otherwise probably wouldn't have ever even thought about or had any interest in. Stuff that I'm interested in, particularly video games that someone like her in South Korea in their 30s just normally probably would never think to get into. But because I've been into it, she's watched when I've been playing stuff, genuinely been interested, asked questions, and in a few cases has gotten into the games herself. Like, even when I'm not around, she's learned how to play them well, and then it's something that we can do together. She did that with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which, if you have followed my channel at all, you know that was hugely important to me for a long time. Even if you've just followed this series at all, you know it was a big deal to me. That's how many times it's come up. And she did that with Hollow Knight, and more recently she's done that with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, a game that is the third in a trilogy that I have come to really love. And it's notable because it's a big, massive, expansive, open-world RPG. And I think it's just a very rare thing for someone who has never played a game like that before to get into it in their 30s like she's done. But I wanted to transition to talking about Xenoblade 3 because I played through it recently. It came out this past summer. And it's not my favorite game ever, but it is probably the game that has emotionally impacted me the most. Certainly the most viscerally in the moment. I cried so many, I actually cried, like face quivering, tears streaming down my face so many times at moments in the story in that game. That's never happened before with the game for me. There have been games that have given me a lingering feeling that I've thought a lot about for days and weeks, especially when I was a teenager. I never thought that I would feel that again. I truly thought I was beyond enjoying games that much, and it's been something that's actually bothered me for years because I love the medium of video games and think it has a lot of potential, but it so rarely lives up to that storytelling potential. It so rarely lives up to the potential of being the type of art that I want it to be. It definitely can, but Xenoblade 3 did, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but in my I'm almost 35. I never thought I'd feel that again playing a game. And the reason Xenoblade 3 resonated with me so strongly is because it's about a lot of things, but one of the main elements of the thematic thrust of the story is how people move on after losing the people around them, which obviously very pertinent to this series. It's about death and rituals concerned with acknowledging death in a respectful way that does right by the people who have died, while also helping the people who are still alive. And just saying that just now, I actually had to kind of fight to keep my voice from cracking a little bit. I'm not going to talk too much about this game, but I've been profoundly moved by this game. And I think especially, it's not just that I lost Jamison, it's because I have been making this series and thinking so much about these things that media and art about this sort of thing hits me harder now. And so how my brain works is that when a story and its themes and ideas have captured me, some part of it, usually the music, is always lingering in my head. And so the entire day that Jihi and I were with her sister, taking our wedding photos, especially towards the end as it got closer to sunset and night, I had a particular music track in my mind because all I could think about was how I wish somehow Jamison could have been a part of this, or at least that he could have known it was happening and that I could have been sharing the pictures with him. We had the most beautiful sunset imaginable. Driving back up to Seoul that night after we were done for the day, I cried in the car. I didn't do it loudly, and I didn't make a point of showing anyone that I was crying. I, over in the passenger seat, to myself in the dark, was just quietly shedding tears. And it wasn't shame. I felt no shame about it, and Jihee's seen me cry plenty of times. I was just thinking and feeling what I've described about wishing Jamison could have been there. And I didn't need Jihee to know, because I guess I didn't need to feel validated in feeling that way, because I know that Jihee is okay with it. She's hugged me and comforted me so many times that I know that time would have been like any other. So I wasn't hiding it, I just didn't need to. Being with her was enough. Now, in my previous video, I talked a lot about how when I have a deadline, things always seem to mess up and a lot of headaches trying to get a video made. The last few were pretty frustrating. But for the day we took our wedding photos, the weather couldn't have been better. The sunset was possibly the most gorgeous sunset I've ever seen in my life. Jihee said to me that she thinks Jamison did that. That Jamison somehow, from wherever he is after death, was able to exert some sort of influence and make things just perfect for us on that day because he's looking out for me. And I think that's the most commonly reassuring way of looking at where people end up after death that people, humans, have, is the idea that they're out there, they're watching over us, and they are trying in ways that we don't immediately know are them to make things better for us. I've been working on my video on the movie Minority Report, which also deals with death and grief. And a character in that movie says, "The dead don't die, they look on and help." And I want to think that. I think everybody wants to think that. I, for the past more than 3 years now, have been devoting a lot of time to this series and thinking of ways to meaningfully recognize and acknowledge Jamison and the space he should have filled in so many different parts of my life. Even things as simple as me when I'm privately looking out the window in my room alone, just looking out the window and seeing the nice view of the city and the mountains behind it. This happened a few weeks ago. I was working on a video or something, and I just had to stop. For some reason I thought about Jamison, and I just had to stop, and it had been a while since I had really shed tears about it and just felt it, I guess, and I just went and looked out the window and just tried to say his name and talk to him. And for me, who spent so much time trying to keep him around and do these types of things in the hopes that somewhere he can receive it and know that we still think about him and care about him constantly, I would love to believe that in his own way he's doing the same thing on his side, that we, on our two sides of death, are still connected and still having something approaching a dialogue, even if it's not with words. I'm going to marry Jihee, and my wedding is about me and her, and our life together is about me and her. But a life includes family and friends, and they're a part of it, and Jamison should be a part of it. And so, at the wedding ceremony, I'm going to say a few words for him. Not to bring the mood down, not to put on any kind of show, and not to make the event about having lost my brother. That would be disrespectful to Jihee and the life that I'm going to start with her when I commit my life to her. Not for any of those reasons, but just because he should be there and he deserves to be acknowledged. Jamison and his love of animals, the really lucky footage I got of those seagulls, it could very easily be nothing. I want to say it probably is nothing because that seems more likely than Jamison willing things to happen a certain way so that I feel special. I want to say it's probably just a coincidence, but I guess when we have absolutely no idea, we don't actually know what probably is. We don't actually know which one is more likely because we simply cannot know. I've never believed that you can choose to believe something. I don't think we choose what we believe. I think we can choose the appearance of belief to put on while hoping, but I don't think that's the same thing as believing. And I don't mean to disrespect anybody by saying that, or insult anybody's religion or faith or any of that. I would love for all of that to be true. And maybe it is. And if it is, I'm nothing but happy. I pray every night, just in case. Jamison wasn't religious, he wasn't a Christian, he didn't believe. So of course I've thought before about the possibility that Jamison wasn't saved. If all of that is true, then Jamison wasn't saved. And I don't know if it makes any difference, but I pray every night for God to have mercy on Jamison and to somehow give people who die another chance, even after they're dead, because it's just miserable to think of them going to hell. It's miserable to think that because of how their lives played out, they didn't believe that maybe there was something they could have chosen that would have saved them, but they made the wrong choice. I hate to think of regret. I hate to think of regret that lasts forever. And so I pray for Jamison every night. I pray for Jamison every night, and I do stuff like this. I make these videos. I write his name in the sand. I think more about the new food that I'm trying. The other day I went with some friends to a South African restaurant in Korea that I've been meaning to go to for years. I just never knew where it was, and so I never got around to it. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, every new experience, I carve out a little piece of it mentally, emotionally, for Jamison. I figuratively pull up a chair for him at the table. Jihi told me that she thinks Jamison was helping us and Jamison was the reason we had such a good sunset. She said that, and I, without expecting to, just cried harder than I have in a very long time. A very long time. I guess we more or less get through these things and go on with life, carrying, of course, that sadness with us. A very complex feeling and a bunch of emotions, but sadness is definitely there. It can be surprising how broken we can sometimes still feel, even so long after the fact. I recently went on a hike with friends. It was Tejo-san, where I hiked for my 1-year anniversary videos for this series, and same friends that I went to the South African restaurant with. Hiked up there with them, and I brought a plastic bag, and I picked up pretty much all of the trash I could find, put it in the bag, picked up a bunch of litter, and it felt good. And one of my new friends asked me where the picking up trash came from, and so I told her it was because I had been told by Jamison's friends that I met in California that when Jamison hiked, he would pick up cans and stuff that he found on the trail and put it in his backpack, because he didn't want it to be on the trail. Jamison can't do that anymore, and it's not something I would have done before in most cases. Not because I am okay with litter. I hate that people think it's okay to throw their trash on the beautiful paths, trails, mountains that we all should share and that we're sharing with wildlife. Not because I don't care, but because I just have a thing about germs and I don't want to get my hands dirty, but I just dealt with it this time, and I have been for a long time since losing Jamison and thinking about these things. Jamison can't do it anymore, so I will. And my friend thought that was really cool, told me that was awesome. This is what I mean when I talk about keeping the things about people whom you've lost, keeping the things about them that you loved alive and in circulation in the world, and hopefully it'll inspire other people to do the same. Not necessarily to pick up litter, but to do the same type of ritual, make the world a better place while honoring someone who used to do it themselves. And I guess as usual, I've gone all over the place here with this recording. I have a lot of footage to work with. I'm not going to have any best men or groomsmen at my wedding. It's not really a thing in Korea, but even if it were, I hate the thought of having to single out 1 or 2 friends and then have all of my other friends know that they're not as high in my estimation. I don't like that. But if Jamison were still here, he would have been my best man. Slideshows of photos of the couple to be married are usually played at Korean weddings as the guests are arriving and finding their seats and waiting. And I think usually the venue takes care of that, uses some stock program to make a slideshow out of photos that you give them. And they probably put some, cheesy stock music over it or some pop song. And I didn't want that, so I made my own using music that matters to me. I used a whole lot of pictures of Jihee and me when we were young. And I made a point to include as many with Jamison there as I could. The focus is me and Jihee, but Jamison was my brother. When I was young, my life in so many ways was about me and Jamison together, in terms of our parents focusing on us and so many things we did together, and I just wanted him to be there. Jamison, you should be here. I am doing my best for you while still living my life.
We just broke the law.